The following is a presentation of BiGGs Media Services.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Are you ready? Time to play the game!
BiGGs Golf Talk for golfers.
You want to hear a nice golf joke? Yeah, I should have showed up and watched me play yesterday. I should be put on Chick Galore or something like that. A team named that. Scramblers. That's it. Scramblers, that's a team I should be on, because I was scrambling for my ball.
There's a golf shot. That's a golf shot.
Hey, when am I going to get the caddy?
The bag is bigger than you.
So?
That white one?
Yeah?
That's the one you're carrying.
Oh, man, that thing's a boat anchor.
I haven't had golf anything since high school.
No, that's you, not me. She likes to enjoy a beverage herself. Is that what you're trying to say?
I might be distracted. That's another story. Golf course and equipment reviews, golf news, guests, and lots of golf humor. When you need to drive for show,
Are you ready?
BiGGs Golf Talk.
I'm special.
Yes, you are, with a helmet.
So I got that going, which is nice.
It is showtime, baby. Here we go.
BiGGs Golf Talk is presented by U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Handmade Vodka. Qualify for the King's Cup today by participating in a national qualifier in your area. To find out about a national qualifier in your area, head over to usgolfchallenge.com or bigsgolftalk.com. BGT also sponsored in part by ShotScope. Data is power. OnCore Golf. Photo Ball Marker. McNally 22. Ready Putt. Never putt with a dirty ball ever again. Zalise. This is CBD for golfers, and it really works. Scorpion 21. Feel the sting. Squares Shoes. It's hip to wear squares. Head over to squares.com. SQARZ.com. Great Father's Day gift idea. And UFO Tour Golf. Oh, the Monogram Series golf bag from Folds of Honor. I just displayed it on social media. Oh, does that thing look sexy? It looks great. If you want to look good on the golf course and you want to represent a great cause such as the Folds of Honor, UFO Tour Golf is the only place to go. Connect with BiGGs Golf Talk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Golf Ball. Subscribe with us on YouTube and iTunes. We're available in the Google Play Music Store, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Amazon devices. Our website is www.bigsgolftalk.com or .net. That's BIGGS golftalk.com or .net. He is the golf father, Bill Cuevas. I am Big John Vick, and she is the golf diva, Amanda Robertson. Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How has everybody's week been?
Okay, Amanda, you go first.
Well, pretty good, actually. Just played in a golf tournament just to shake some cobwebs off. So feeling good, and had a lot of positives. Had a few negatives, but you always have those. But feeling good about my game and just trying to come back around.
Feeling good about my game as well. I went golfing at a golf club here in Wisconsin. Unfortunately, the restrictions here is no more than 30 minutes. So you can't show up more than 30 minutes ahead of your tee time. I still say 30 minutes is still cutting it close, especially if the starter's sending your group off, 5 minutes early.
Yes, like yours did.
Yeah, remember?
Yours did this week.
I was not very pleased this week with a certain golf club here in New Mexico, and I get there 30 minutes ahead of time, and I get into the and sometimes there's a glitch in a pro shop, so you spend 10-15 minutes in a glitch in a pro shop, and then the starter sends your group off 5 minutes early. Yep. It just doesn't give you enough time, especially if you want to stop off at the snack shop, get a couple bottles of water, take with you on the course, maybe a snack, for the first 9 holes, whatever the case might be, like I did. But Bill, I was on the phone with you when I went through that whole mess in the pro shop, and the guy was just downright rude. You know.
Yeah. He's bitter because he's essential now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
What it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that's one of the things about sometimes you hire the retirees, you know, that do, and they don't care about that job because they're getting a pension. They're just there for the free golf.
Yeah.
You know, and he seems to be one of those guys, unfortunately, and not everybody's like that, but you know.
Well, I actually got to witness him giving you the hard time. That's what was terrible. I mean, the whole thing from start to finish with that group was terrible.
Yeah,
I don't even know why you golf with them, to be honest.
I don't. So here's what happened, Amanda. So here's what it all started in a pro shop, Amanda, where I'm trying to check in. He doesn't have my name. I tell him exactly what time I'm going out. He's trying still, then he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What group are you with? And I tell him the group I'm with. And it was just a back and forth thing. And I actually thought I held my cool pretty good because I wanted to be so sarcastic and so mean back. And I was trying to just get out there. Finally,
we don't need any course bannings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know the guy that the director of golf there, but you know, and the thing is, so I get there and I pay. I went to the snack shop. I got me a Gatorade, cup of ice, breakfast burrito, and then I was loading the stuff on my cart. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, because it's a 27-hole course. So they switch up the 18s, you know, maybe every other day or whatever case might be. This is like the third or fourth time I played this course anyway. And so I go to the starter, and I said, well, I wanted to find out the rotation. What course are we going to play? What 18 we're going to play? And he says, what group are you with? I told him what group I'm with. He goes, oh, they already teed off. I'm like,
yeah, like 5 minutes earlier.
I'm not like, it's not even time yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, you have these restrictions as far as how you're supposed to separate the groups, and the restrictions of not showing up 30. You have to your group's got to tee off on time and not early.
You have to, because to keep the distancing, you can't go out and be right up on the next group.
Yep.
So then
That's
I drive.
Very
so they were on the first green, and I drive up to the first green, and I didn't even hit a ball yet, you know. And they're like, "Oh, go back and hit." Well, the guys behind that obviously is hitting their balls. So here I am driving back upward to hit my shot. 'Cause, I mean, this is a money game, so every shot counts.
Oh, gotcha.
So I go back and I hit my shot, and you know, right away, now I feel rushed.
Now you're already out of sync. It's just not a good way to start the day.
It was not a good day at all. I had a 90 for 18 holes. The front nine was just a disaster. I finally calmed down and I finally settled down for the back nine. But the front nine was just a disaster.
Did you tell Amanda what the name of your group is?
Oh, can I say that on the radio? In Spanish?
Well, you can say it in Spanish.
Pendejo.
Pendejos.
Yeah.
And you know what? No group were ever chosen more purely as that group. You can't get better than that. Because the other night when I was lifting, you know, because everybody, or whoever doesn't know, you know, I'm Puerto Rican.
If you don't know, now you know.
I'm a New Yorker. If you don't know, I'm Latin. So yeah. So I'm and the guy that I work out with, my partner, he's also Puerto Rican. So we're sitting there, and I'm telling him about the ordeal that Bill had, that BiGGs had gone through. And I was like, bro, can you imagine in today's world, in New Mexico, no less, that they call the pendejos? And he looked at me like he goes, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, that's what they're called. I was like, I don't know what man that wants to choose to call himself that, but okay. So,
but all right, we're going to roll with it. I like it. That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Let's hope BiGGs is not part of that group anymore, because otherwise that's gonna be his new nickname.
No,
and it's gonna fit perfect, BiGGs.
I made the group I was even playing with, the guys in the group, they're kind of like seem pissed off-ish, you know, and not cordial, you know, and just separate themselves away from me, you know, like, hey, dude, you just screwed up everything. You came late, and all. You know, I wasn't there late.
No.
Dude, you were early.
Yeah.
You were early.
I know.
They teed off early, and you were still, even when you caught them, you were still early.
Right.
Yeah, right. That
ain't right.
See, I'm a person, so my whole life I've been, okay, if you tell me you're going to pick me up at 7, I'm going to plan accordingly to be ready at 7.
Right.
If you show up at 6:45, do not come and try to get me. Now, if I'm ready, great, but I plan it out accordingly. So it is frustrating, and I'm very on time and so it's frustrating. Like you said, you show up, you're kind of, golf is all about getting in the groove. Mm-hmm. And when you're rushed, it's just totally not a good thing.
And the only thing they have open as far as practicing is the greens. You can't go to the range. You can't hit balls and stuff like that.
Can't do anything.
No.
So it makes sense just to get there 30 minutes ahead of time. But I still
and not for nothing. I heard what he paid for golf, and I wouldn't even go through that for a third of what you paid to get that harassment.
Right.
Yeah, so that's stupid.
I don't think that value that they allegedly had was worth your time to do it. You know what I mean? I don't think it was cool. Yeah, that whole experience was terrible. I would never go back, man. You got to find a different group. Even if you need a group, I would just chill out and you're better off golfing by yourself. At least you're calm, relaxed, and you practice your
I mean,
stuff.
the only reason why I was golfing with that group, I mean, the Colonel recommended him. He was golfing in that group. Great bunch of guys. He knows them personally.
Sure.
I personally don't know one guy. I've been introduced to some of the guys, and some of the guys are pretty cool. But after the experience I just received, I don't even want to go back. I don't, the guy
I'm good.
Yeah, the guy that heads it up says, "Hey, will you be back next week?" No.
No.
It's going to be a hard pass.
From the treatment of the golf course to the treatment of the that particular group I was in, no.
Yeah.
One rule of thumb I've always had is I don't care who you are, where you're from, but if you're new to a group, I'm all about making you feel welcome and comfortable, because it is like you don't know anybody. Everybody has their cliques and their inside jokes and their groups, and it's really hard to be the one that's new. Yeah.
Well, especially when they ask you, how do you spell Vic? V-I-C. How do you spell Vic? V-I-C. How do you spell Vic? V-I-C. I mean, it's like either the guy was deaf or he was just dumb. I mean, I don't see John. I don't see John. Well, try this. Try Big John. I don't see that. Try John Vic. I don't see that. How about you try the tea time that I told you? I don't see that either on there. So I'm like, wow. I was like, I mean, I don't know how he kept his cool, but he actually, and I don't like complimenting him, but he did the right thing. I mean, he was calm and he kept giving the right information. And this guy, I don't know what his problem was. And it wasn't like it was super early either. No. It wasn't like it's like 7 o'clock in the morning or 6:45 and you rush in to get your tea.
Right.
It was already halfway through the morning. And this guy was just like, he wasn't cool. You lose, especially in today's world, you lose business, you lose customers and golfers.
Oh, 100%.
Because I wouldn't want to even buy a water there. I wouldn't want to even. No, I wouldn't even. We haven't even talked about the course, which is good. We just talked about the group because we're not even going to talk about the course.
Right. I'm not even going to bring up the course.
Nope.
I solely believe if I don't have nothing nice to say about a particular golf course, I won't say it at all because someone else might have a positive experience and I may not.
Yes.
So,
sure.
What a great!
Can't let one bad apple spoil the whole bunch.
Exactly. What a great show we have today. We are going to revisit Big Break Mexico featuring Rob West. He's going to join us here on Big's Golf Talk. Amanda has a special On Par with Amanda special interview today. We have your Big's product of the week and OnCore Golf to release a new golf ball. What is that all about? All that on today's show. So let's get it started. We'll be right back right after this break.
Hey, everyone. Big's Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. Download the app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Big's Golf Talk. Be sure to save us as a favorite so that you'll know when we're on. Join the millions of iHeartRadio listeners and listen to Big's Golf Talk. Golf Talk for golfers.
The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best two-player teams to compete against International Field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup style event, known as the International Kings Cup. played in honor of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
The 6th annual edition of the International Kings Cup will be contested in May 2021 at the Glasson Golf Club in Ireland.
The road to the Kings Cup begins with a national qualifier. 2-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. The top 30% and ties at each qualifier will be invited to the USGC National Championship. Winning teams at national qualifiers have a chance to receive a free $950 team entry into the event.
With an open and a senior division, each having 4 flights, teams of all skill levels will compete for a spot on Team USA. The winning team from each flight at the United States Golf Challenge National Championship will be crowned and win the expense-paid trip to the Glasson Golf Club in Athlone, Ireland, as part of Team USA.
Do you have what it takes? For more information, the website is usgolfchallenge.com for all the details. That's usgolfchallenge.com.
This is a commercial for golfers. Take the next step to improving your game with ShotScope and discover your strengths and weaknesses. Analyze statistics on your clubs, tee shots, approaches, short game, and putting. ShotScope V2 is the golf watch that combines GPS distances with automatic performance tracking. Once you have it, you won't want to play around without it. Check out ShotScope.com to take your game to the next level.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Biggs Golf Talk. We have a very special guest with On Par with Amanda. This week, I am chatting with the one and only Mr. Mike Brown. Let me give you a little background. Yeah, you guys didn't hear all the applause going on in the background. So I met Mike quite a few years ago when I started playing professional golf. He is the owner of the Cactus Tour, women's professional golf tour that really amps your career, and it's just been something that's been a huge part of my life as well as so many others. So welcome to the show, Mr. Mike Brown.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I want to dive right in, and I want to give them a little background. How in the world does someone own a golf tour that does not play golf?
Well, it started with the Arizona Women's Open. We didn't have an Arizona Women's Open, and in 2010, Sarah was playing on the Cactus Tour. My daughter, Sarah Brown, who plays professionally or played professionally. But I wanted to resurrect an Arizona Women's Open because there was nothing between. Back then, there was a 2-month break, 6 weeks, 7 weeks between second stage of Q School and final stage. And I thought, since Arizona didn't have a Women's Open, that'd be a good place. So I went to Bruce Condon, who owned the Cactus Tour, told him what I wanted to do. We put it together. He subsequently was in the process of wanting to transition out of it, and I was in a position to, hey, I'd like to see this thing go on. And 10 years later, here we are. I'm not in jail, and they haven't killed me.
And here we are. So I turned pro back in 2012. So when I started with you, the tour has evolved immensely since then. I remember when our fields were really tiny and we would go out and compete. But either way, you've expanded and you've grown the tour. What has been some of the highlights in the last, 8 or 9 years that you've really seen change?
I think it's just somebody said the reason that you're succeeding is you keep showing up.
Yeah.
And a lot of the tours out there, they haven't done that. They don't continue because it's like, there's no money in it. There's no money in it for the girls. There's no money in it for the the owner of the tour. It's more a need as opposed to anything else. There's a need for a place for these girls to be able to play, because if this year in particular, because there's no Q School. So at least at Q School you might get some Symetra status, and but it's just exposing it out there that somebody goes, do you market? Are you out here recruiting? When I used to go to Q School, I go, no. I go, you probably brought more girls to this told more girls to come and play on the Cactus Tour than I ever talked to out there saying, hey, you need to do this. And then a few years back, I started working with some of the state opens where I would give their winner an exemption to the Arizona Women's Open. And of course, being out there, people would, I was just at the Colorado Women's Open. I was talking to one of the moms there, and her daughter called me and is playing an event in 2 weeks, type of deal. So I wasn't recruiting. I was just discussing why I was there and what, it was like, do you have a daughter here? No, I run the Cactus Tour. We give it an exemption of so blah 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 blah.
Well, I think in all my years playing and getting to know you, it's really encouraging. Anytime I've been at the Colorado Open or Q School and I look up and I see you there, I don't know, I can't speak for the other girls, but I'm sure they feel very similar, that it's comforting to know that you care, you show up and you want to support us.
Well, it's either that or sitting 115 degrees in Arizona. But no, it is. It's one of the reasons I started going to Q School. In fact, the first year I went, somebody asked me, are you recruiting? And I said, no. I was actually a little offended by it because I was there supporting because, we spend, 2-3 weeks a month, 3-4 months out of the year, you build a relationship, I kind of know what you're looking for, what you do. And it's like I wanted to be there and say, hey, good luck this week.
Sure.
I bring a goodie bag.
Yes, bring the famous goodie bag.
The infamous goodie bag. And, it's first stage is such a mind game anyway. And the goodie bag was designed that there was a Propel, Sharpie, tees with, say, the Cactus Tour on it, and of course, a Scooby snack.
Yes.
And it's designed just so that if you look at that, there's that one good thought.
Yep.
It's like, you just hit a bad shot and you reach in and it's like, oh, Scooby.
Scooby snacks, gotta love them.
And I do care. And like I said, the parents are appreciative of the fact that they know that, but it's like, it's fun to support what you're doing, type of deal. And I said the most important thing that the Cactus Tour does has nothing to do with, I got to meet you 10 years ago and we're still friends and I'm friends with your parents. It has to do with none of these girls are going to wake up 20 years from now and go, I wish I'da.
Right.
And you can't explain that. When you explain that to a parent, they get it.
Right.
When you explain that to a kid, it's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm 22. I know everything.
Yes, right. Well, and I think, the moral of the story is, so I started in 2012, and here I am this week playing in one to shake some cobwebs off. I haven't played in a while, but I go out there today and even yesterday. The girls are 21 that I'm playing with. Today I played with an 11-year-old. I about fell out of my cart. But I think that's the biggest draw I've seen and the biggest change is
she could be yours.
Literally, she could be my kid. I'm 3 times her age.
Yeah.
And she thought my boyfriend was my dad out there, and so it's just hilarious because but it's cool because you're starting to see more and more younger amateur players wanting to dive in, and it is a place they can come.
Well, and I let the joke is I let amateurs play as long as the parents behave.
Sure.
It's just
100%.
Yeah.
And you structured the tour very well. You've always done a good job with all the amateurs go clump together and you fight for your position to get to play with the pros.
Exactly.
And I've always loved that because it is fair. You play well, but then you don't have pros mad that there's someone like unexperienced. So I think overall it's great. So I want to touch, I know we've probably beat it to death through our show and everybody else's, but I want to talk a little bit about COVID. So
what's COVID?
Yeah, what's COVID? Well, you were literally the only golf related thing and tour that was even remotely gutsy enough to have something going on. How did you make that happen?
I don't know if I'd call it gutsy. The guidelines and privately we've had conversations about how I felt about the whole thing, but the guidelines that we followed and the golf course followed were the guidelines that the CDC, the state, the golf course, and myself. And you know me, I followed the rules.
Yep.
That like to kill me.
Yep.
We don't need no stinking rules.
Right.
But we just did everything that we could to single rider carts, no rakes in the bunker, foam in the hole or the upside down cup. Please try and social distance. Now, again, not everybody is always going to be 6 feet apart. Just look at Costco.
Right.
And the even at the grocery store, you got to pass somebody at some point. But we just didn't hang around. We didn't go out and eat dinner like we used to do. And
right.
It's like, no Red China Cafe.
Ugh,
yeah,
dang it.
yeah.
Dang it. That was my favorite part.
It's just about everybody's when we're out at Wigwam. But we just did it. The golf courses wanted to keep the business, so we were in single rider carts. Initially, the first 8 or 9 events I did, I think it was the first 9 events I did. We were twosomes in golf carts. I mean, it was 2, and yeah, I'm surprised courses don't go to that now. It's like we're just going to go twosomes because everybody's getting around in 3 hours and 30 minutes type of deal.
Even today, this week at this tournament, everybody has been playing so fast, but it's kind of nice.
The first group was 3 hours and 39 minutes.
Yeah,
and they were a threesome.
Next level.
And slow play. Well, I had a girl that shoot high scores. No, high scores don't translate to slow play.
Amen. Everybody
slow
says
players
that.
Translate to slow play. Yeah.
And that's the thing. But you can keep on pace even if you're hacking around.
But every one of the courses was really good about sanitizing the carts and doing that stuff. And we had a situation where I was not going to get single rider carts, and this is later on, kind of after the thing had died down a little bit. I actually cut up a shower curtain and got clips, and so that we could put a piece of plastic in between the 2 riders if they wanted it. Nobody wanted it.
Of course.
And I said I had a lady that asked me to stop on behalf of her and the United States because by having tournaments I was killing people. And I did not respond because it would have been a short response with the last one being you.
Yeah, right.
Type of deal.
Right. Well,
but the thing is that we were doing all the things that we were allowed to do.
Sure. You weren't breaking any rules.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a lady email a course trying to get me to shut down, which is she actually broke more of a law than I did because she tried to interfere with commerce.
Sure.
Because I wasn't doing anything wrong.
No.
And the girls were playing anyway. That was my whole thing is the girls were already out there playing. And I will tell you that what we did as a golf course and a tournament were better at social distancing than Joe and Bob did.
Right.
Yeah, Bob and I have been playing golf for 20 years. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit in another car. Hell, we came here in the same car.
Yep. Yep, 100%.
And so, but I did have 2 courses that asked me not to play tournament. They were going to allow public play. They just didn't want tournament play.
Gotcha.
And so, and we were pretty good about watching it. And every once in a while, I joke with the parents, "Come on, guys, 6 feet, 6 feet."
Yeah, right.
Because a lot of the parents. But my favorite one was I have a parent and their daughter, the parent couple that brings their daughter down from Yucaipa, California.
Okay.
He's a firefighter and she's a nurse. She got sick in November, and he told me she's never been sick in all the years we were married. She was sick. And she goes, I had every one of the symptoms that COVID had. I went in. They couldn't find anything. And I'm thinking, if you're a firefighter and you're a nurse and you're okay with what's going on here, we're doing something right.
Right. 100%.
And so we just continued. And it's like, again, I'm smart enough to understand that I could test negative today.
Sure.
And go out and meet somebody that just licked a doorknob and test positive, the next day.
Right.
So, other than sitting in your house for the rest of your life, it's and I've had a lot of parents have thanked me that it's like, hey, thanks for giving our kids some normalcy in their life.
Yeah, everything's upside down, and we're obviously graduating towards a more normal, whatever that is. But even for me, it's just nice to get out here and kind of get back to something that's familiar.
Yeah, I'm just glad the Murder Hornets didn't hit.
Man, we
at the
lucked
golf course. Yeah,
out.
I mean,
I'm just checking off each thing that rolls through to 2020.
I heard that next month is supposed to be this month is riot. Next month is supposed to be earthquakes and then maybe floods. I'm not sure. So,
okay, well I'll get my arc ready.
I saw the list and I don't remember exactly what month this stuff was coming. Aliens are in there too.
Yes,
at some
there's
point.
a whole lot on that list.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, is there anything going on in the future? What does it look like in the next year or two for the Cactus Tour? Anything coming up or any exciting, or is it just kind of day by day? I was just telling somebody, it just dawned on me that somebody was asking me about the summer, and I have 2 events in June, and these never happen. This event this week and next week just aren't there, but the girls want to play. Yeah.
Then I go to Vegas, which I've been going to Vegas either the first part of June or the latter part of June. But the reason that I haven't had these is there have been a lot of state opens and things going on. Well, a lot of those have canceled. Gotcha. I go up to the Canadian Women's Championship, and they canceled that this year.
Yeah.
So I do traveling. I do it's my fun time to go around and see you guys where I'm not working.
Sure. You actually get to enjoy to watch some golf.
I don't watch golf. I just see you guys and say good luck this week and that sort of thing, and I get to travel and and so, but a lot of those didn't happen. So I decided to put tournaments on so that like I said, we have a lot of amateurs. And we have amateurs because at 2 weeks into this thing, the parents are like, "You're getting up out of the house."
Yep.
And and like I said, I'm allowing them to play but I've done a couple of different things. I did a Cactus Collegiate Challenge this year in January, which is for college players only.
Kicking us pros out.
It's done, and it's before they start their spring season or fall season or whatever that one is in the beginning of I guess it's the spring in January. And I'm doing another one, and it was small. It was like 25 girls.
Yeah.
I'm doing another one in August at Greyhawk, where the national championship was supposed to be. Right. But it's college players only, no riders, no caddies, no boyfriends, no girlfriends, no moms, no dads, no aunts, uncles. It's just players. I said so they can swear and tell stories, and nobody's
I think that's
they
great.
don't care whether they play good or bad. Nobody cares. They care whether they play good or bad, but they don't have to get crap from while it's
everybody
going on.
else.
Everybody else, and in January they loved it.
That's
so
fun.
Absolutely loved it. And the coaches have been wanting to do this, and the coaches are excited about it because their players are getting a chance to stay competitive prior to coming back to school.
Yeah, you don't want to dust off cobwebs like I did this week.
Exactly.
You want to just come in fresh and feel good.
Well,
and I
they
think
get to
it's
see
great.
their friends, and I said we did this one in January because the girls couldn't get into Silver Bell. And I said they don't like playing with 13, 14, and 15-year-olds, and they don't like getting beat by 13, 14, and 15-year-olds.
No, we do not.
Yes, or 11-year-olds.
Or 11-year-olds. Oh, boy. But, no, I think that's the whole progress of the Cactus Tour, getting these young girls out that are wanting to come out, and they're already groomed, so when they are playing professionally, they're ready to rock and roll. They're not sitting around waiting.
Well, and the parents have to be, I sent an email out. I had the first event that I had like 25. I mean, 2/3 of my fields right now are amateurs, which is fine.
No kidding. Yeah.
And that's fine. And I sent an email out. It's like, I know there's a lot of amateurs, but it's still a professional event, and you need to conduct yourself as if your daughter was, as if your player was playing professionally, because I get it, but in most of the amateur events, all they care about is their kid.
Sure. But you can't do that on a permit. These girls will eat them alive.
Oh, absolutely.
And especially, but it's great. My feeling is I don't mind helping out, but we definitely don't want to be in a position where I'm teaching you the whole round. Right. I'm not out here to teach your daughter.
Exactly.
I'm out here to play and compete against your daughter.
Right. And your daughter is out here to learn what that competition is going to be.
Not learn the game of golf while she's out here. Yeah. You're playing with the big boys.
Big girl panties.
Yep, exactly. Well, Mike Brown, thank you so much for coming on, and I know we are going to have a little bit more of you to come, which is always a treat. Mike Brown round 2. But thanks, and keep doing what you're doing. It's really great.
The thing is that it's from the very beginning, it was like, if I don't have a business, you don't have a place to play. But if you don't have a place to play, I don't have a business. However that was, In other words, if I don't have business, you don't have a place to play. But if you don't come and play, I don't have a business. And so it's kind of a we thing, although I'm responsible for making sure that it gets off the ground. Yes. And we've had good growth, and we've had ups and downs, and we're just trying to look for places for you guys to have a place to play.
We love it. We'll keep doing it.
Still looking for that elusive sponsor.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere. Well, thanks, Mike Brown.
Okay.
Guys, thanks for another great week of On Par with Amanda. Make sure to send me DMs. Let me know your thoughts. A. Robertson Golf on Instagram, and I will talk at you guys next week. Until next time, keep swinging for par.
Having a corporate or charity golf event? Backswing Golf Events can supply your tournament with personable, professional golfers to entertain and fundraise on the golf course. They can accommodate any size group, whether it be 3 players to 500. They are your team. From range lessons, Beat the Pro, and Pro-Am style roaming, they're making lasting memories one swing at a time. So make sure to check out backswinggolfevents.com or call us direct at 661-316-3093 and book your pros now.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap, already providing over 10,000 scholarships. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
Golf is a dirty game. It's time to clean it up with Ready Putt, the only putter cover with a built-in ball cleaner and magnetic surface. Clean balls roll accurately, meaning you make more putts. Sink more, swear less. Clean up your game with Ready Putt.
Teeing it up on 7, 8, and 9 here on the front 9. Big John Vick with Bill the Golffather Cuevas and Amanda Robertson back with you on Big's Golf Talk on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Amazon devices, as well as your favorite podcast platform. It is a roundtable discussion here on Big's Golf Talk, and one of the things I want to talk about really quick here is a few news and notes around some companies and services that's going around right now. One of them is Give Dad a Tour experience with Club Champion Custom Fittings. If you're shopping for Father's Day and you're looking for a gift, well, Dad might need a new set of custom fitted clubs, or he may need to have his current set fitted properly and adjusted properly. Dialed in, yep. Club Champion is offering gift cards, and they're also offering setup sessions for Dad. So you could check them out. Club Champion they have over 45,000 hittable bays and head and shaft combinations. So check that out. Club Champion is clubchampiongolf.com. But a great gift idea for Dad. So there you go with that. A few press releases. Forest Dunes. Forest Dunes now open in scenic northern Michigan and also launches a new custom digital magazine to give you a behind the scenes of what Forest Dunes is all about. And The Loop. Bill, you and I are both familiar with Forest Dunes and The Loop. We're going to be revisiting them. Yep.
Here we go, Loop-de-Lie. That's a great place. I love that track. One day you play it forwards, the next day you play it forwards. But it depends if you go off the red side, the black side. A lot of good things coming. They got a new course there, a new 9-hole. I think it's par 3 course they got. They got a lot of stuff there. It's a beautiful place to visit, and they got some serious internet going on there.
As a matter of fact, stay tuned because Bill the Golffather Cuevas and myself will be possibly doing a whole Michigan tour. So stay tuned for that, and you'll hear information about that. TGA Premier Sports announces a release of TGA golf camps provide great escape for kids nationwide. Billy, TGA stepping up once again for our youth and growing the game.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. I mean, we've had them on the show several times. We love what they do and how they help grow the game. And right now, with everything going on, I think a lot of the golf stuff is coming back for the children, for the kids. I'm seeing it more and more on our courses, reading more about all of it, first tee, a lot of them getting up. And I think there's quite a bit of growth.
And Amanda, and some people may not know, but the Golf Diva working with the ladies of our youth with junior golf and teaching and all that stuff. Obviously, with the pandemic, that had been put to the side. But before the pandemic, you were working with a lot of young girls, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I've seen, like Bill said, a lot of things are starting to open back up. And I see, even at the course I belong to, kids programs are coming back, the junior program. So it's nice to kind of get everybody some sort of normalcy out there. Just, I think they're going stir crazy at this point.
Yeah. I think we're all going stir crazy. I've never seen so many parents being so ecstatic about programs. I read this morning, one parent wrote, "I am so happy. We have 7 games on Saturday." And I'm like, you didn't say that last year. You were crying when there was 2 games. What am I going to do? I got 2 games. Now it's like, oh my God, we got 7 and we're happy. I'm like,
and we can stay out of the house.
That's the new attitude that you're going to see from parents, and I think there's going to be more respect for teachers because, homeschooling ain't what it used to be. You know what I mean?
Also, a preview, a great fundraiser that's going to be coming up starting July 1st for the whole month of July. And this is such a generous thing that Ready Putt Head Covers is going to be doing for the Folds of Honor New Mexico. For every purchase that you make at ReadyPutt.com, he is going to give $10 back to the Folds of Honor New Mexico for the whole month of July.
That's amazing. And we got a lot of friends out there and a lot of people that use Ready Putt. So buy them for Father's Day. Why wait?
Yeah.
Get them ready. Give them late Father's Day gifts. Don't buy it now. Wait. I'm telling you to wait. It's okay.
And he's doing that to celebrate Independence Day and kind of coordinate with that with Folds of Honor and supporting our military.
That's cool.
So that's been months of working and talking and with Ready Putt, and we finally got it together and had involved Folds of Honor New Mexico into it. And so Folds of Honor New Mexico is also going to have a link on their website at newmexico.foldsofhonor.org. BiGGs Golf Talk is going to join in on the social media campaign, and you're going to find it on our social media. And Ready Putt is also going to be launching a social media campaign as well. So, Amanda, I hope you'll be able to share it on yours and get people to help out Folds of Honor. So we got, especially at
I want to make Amanda happy, BiGGs.
You want to make Amanda happy, but
oh boy!
But before you make Amanda happy, is it another story or is it part of this story?
It is. It's another story. So when you finish this story, I want to talk about this story.
I just want to send out my best wishes out to Camilo Villegas, who right now is on the Corn Ferry Tour, but just kind of made it public about his daughter who has cancer, and they're fighting and all that stuff. But his wife said, hey, you really need to go out and do what you need to do because he's been concentrating. Mm-hmm. You could tell he's lost a lot of weight, too.
Poor guy.
He was really heartbroken.
Yes.
That got to be hard. Golf is a mental game. To be out there, you know what I mean, and trying to compete and still have the thoughts of everything that's going on. You know what your child is battling, it has to mess you up. We send lots of prayers.
Nicholas' family stepped up to get his daughter into a treatment right away. Hopefully, and that probably may have saved her life. She's starting chemotherapy and all that stuff. But certainly our thoughts are with Camilo, and we hope that everything goes well. He's actually living in Florida right now and getting the treatments for his daughter here in the United States. So, Billy, let's go on to you. Let's make Amanda happy.
More news. Well, that was actually how I was going to lead it off. I have it up on my screen as well because I saw what was going on with him, and I wanted to make sure that we send our prayers to him. But then the other big story that got unleashed this morning, and I actually chuckled and snorted, and some coffee came out of me because I was thinking about it. So I saw this guy, and he was doing what is allegedly like leg lifts. And he was talking about how he was preparing for the next 4 to 5 weeks on tour that the PGA came, and if you wanted any special exercises for him. So I was ready to tag Amanda in it to see if she wanted any exercise lessons from her main guy. Can you guess who it is? Who you love the most?
Boy.
He also tried to play on the Corn Ferry Tour, but now
I literally can't.
Advice. Yes, now he's giving advice instead and showing leg lift on that thing. And he was swinging his leg back and forward, and I'm laughing, I'm cracking. I'm like,
I literally can't. I think. Well, for those of you that don't already know who we are talking about, Mr. VJ Singh.
Yes, he was singing as he was swinging. Woo-hoo.
I just don't get him. I don't.
Me neither.
I think he, it's funny because, and maybe, like I said, I've only seen the side that I've seen. I've met him a few times, but I have never, I don't obviously hang out or see the more casual side of him, but he's not a lighthearted, funny guy. It doesn't seem like, like we watch Phil's kind of banter on stuff and it's hilarious. So the fact that also I don't really see him being like Mr. Muscular. I mean, back when he was doing deer antler spray, then that was a different story.
Right.
No, I was looking and I was like, who's really going to message him for workout advice?
I mean, you would message there's a million guys on tour that really are jacked.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and you figure, I was expecting with this tour coming out, there was going to be some more jacked dudes, but quite a bit of them came back jacked in the wrong way.
Yeah, little heavier, little extra pantry weight.
And they don't really know that it's beach weather.
And by the way, can we also talk about the 1.5 pound mustaches these guys are having?
Oh my gosh!
What's up with the porn stash look on the PGA Tour?
Know, but guys, you had our boy Ricky.
I can't.
You had Kafka. I was
I'm sorry. I love Kepka. I love his attitude. I love his.
I love all those guys.
Right. Mm-hmm. But that stash on Kepka has got to go.
No,
he does not look good.
So bad.
And you know what?
So creepy.
I mean, Amanda could probably attest to it better than I can. With that mustache, he went from his stud rating down to dud.
But that's another guy. He's gotten buffed. I mean, he has gotten.
Yes, he does. He does work out a lot.
But that's like saying all the chips officers were in shape on chips. I mean, they still look creepy.
Yeah, they did.
In the tight pants.
It doesn't, you could put that stash literally on the most jacked dude who looks like Thor, and he's going to look, it just takes the creep level up a little bit. You got to have some, if you're going to have facial hair, you got to have some extra facial hair. You can't just do the porn stash.
Yeah, you gotta go to
or at least have that stash going down the side.
Mm-hmm. Right? Something.
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah.
But that lip stash. I'm sorry. Yeah,
it looks like somebody cut somebody's hair and pasted it on.
Right. It does. It looks fake.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. I was looking at it. I'm like, wow. And
now we have seen Ricky. We've seen Ricky in that mustache before.
Yeah,
and it didn't look good then either.
November and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, he usually does it to grow when you're supposed to grow out your mustache, and it's that month. But no, no means no.
All right. Speaking of the PGA Tour, they are in the third round today, at the Colonial in Fort Worth, Texas. I'll tell you what, some heat conditions out there right now. You could tell the course is, and the course is doing pretty well, and the grass is really accepting that heat. Although it may look on TV because you have the, two different colors of green on the fairways and stuff like that. But when talking to somebody that's a green a landscaper or whatever case might be, he was telling me that's actually a good sign because that's a good sign that the grass is protecting itself. So it's really a good good thing to see the course is in good condition and all that stuff. But knowing that, so Billy and I are watching watching round number 1 on Thursday together. We were on video, and all of a sudden, a gentleman hits a hole in one, and I forgot what hole it was even, and I forgot who did it. But remember that, Billy?
Yeah.
And there was just
we were talking. He's like, "Oh my god!"
I'm like, "Oh, great shot!" like that. And the thing is, when you look at it again, there's no high fives, there's no excitement, there's no roar of the crowd. That stuff is missing. I mean, right now it's boring to watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I know they're trying to make it exciting by miking up the players, but There was only a couple occasions that I thought Ricky was pretty funny, and kind of walked you through to a ball that's out of bounds because of a man-made object. So he had to talk with the official and the caddy and all that stuff. Hearing that conversation is kind of cool. Kind of hear what the pros do on the tour and stuff like that.
Sure.
But for the most part,
it was a snoozer. I think somebody fell asleep during the first part of watching it.
I just don't. It's a different feel altogether. And the golf, and I love the sport. We all love the sport, obviously. Yep. But we can all say that it's not the most exciting thing to watch sometimes. So when you strip the thing that made it, you have the crowds and you have the support and, it's just silent. It's kind of okay, well, I'd rather go play golf than watch it.
There was one part that I wish was silence when they went to the studio and they had the actual two guys there. And they had everybody's favorite
Chambly
talking. Whatever. I won't even say his name, but when they had him, I'm like, okay, time to take a nap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh my god.
How Brando Chambly still has a job, I have no idea. I
don't know. With all the people out there, they got 12 studios. They had one on the West Coast.
They had one on the West Coast. Yeah, they had one in Connecticut. They had Orlando studios where 3 guys were in Orlando. You had your replay guys in California. You had Shot Tracker. I'm sorry, Shot Tracker was in California. Replay people were someplace else. And then you had another a field of trucks in Connecticut. I'm like...
And it was great. What we had a 10-second delay between the two of us while we were talking.
Yeah,
I was,
and we both had the same network, same provider.
At least 10-second difference.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I could have made bets. I should have stayed quiet and said, hey, I bet you he sinks this butt.
Bet you $100.
$100.
All right, we talked about the porn stash. We talked about the porn stash and all that stuff. And the next person I'm going to talk about, I love him to death. I do. He is such a great guy off the course and on the course, and very fan favorite. What the hell is up with the aviator glasses on Phil Mickelson? Anybody?
Cricket. Cricket.
Since when is aviator glasses pretty something golf? I mean, it's...
Well, here's my thing. If it's something that you've established, I don't know, we all kind of have
he does not look hip, if you will, being 48 and in those aviator glasses.
I don't know. It just doesn't. I think because 1, we're not used to it, but 2, it's just we don't see him as that guy.
Right.
I don't know.
No,
That's
don't.
just kind of weird. We all have.
Is this a midlife crisis thing he's going through? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I got aviators, but I don't use them to drive,
right,
and stuff like that. But I wouldn't use it. I mean, now they do. One of the companies that we talked about last week, and we just got some stuff coming in. They're doing it as well. They're making the aviators for golf. But that wasn't
that's
part
weird.
of them. So, yeah,
it could be a new trend, but being 48, it does not suit you well.
Well, I'm a little bit older than Phil, and I wear them. I rock them good.
On the course.
You're 25.
Yeah.
Well, I am 25, but we don't. Bigs don't know
times
that.
3, but.
You know what I mean? I like rocking them. I just don't know if I would, do it for the golf. I
don't know. It just didn't look good on Phil. Maybe if Ricky was wearing them or somebody, like that. But we're not seeing. We're not even used to seeing Phil Mickelson wear sunglasses at all. I mean, I have never seen him wear sunglasses on the golf course.
That's different for him. Yeah. He's not ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was out of character. That's what blew your mind.
Right.
That's what happened. You got to get over that, Biggs.
I guess so. I'll get used to it. Don't forget, this is the first tournament, so I'll get used to it.
Hopefully, it gets better.
Yeah, hopefully it
gets better. Or I'm trying to figure out, how. I mean, it got to be difficult, doing this, trying to get what they want. And what is it? Another 3-4 weeks before they introduce some crowds to it. What I would like to see. instead of letting those, try to figure out a nice way where, maybe the fans could fan out along the edges. But
I mentioned the Colonial, but it's Charles Schwab Classic they're playing at, not the Colonial. The Colonial, I believe, is the one that's going to be allowing fans. It's going to be the first tournament to allow fans.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. I
that's right. I think it is the Memorial that's going to have it. Yes.
Or Memorial. Yeah, something like that. Right. Right.
But the thing, it's hard for people to swallow, and I'll play devil's advocate. You got all these protests and loiters and all this stuff going on all around the country. We're still trying to fight this COVID thing, and you're not allowed to go to church. You're not allowed to do this, but we can't go to golf, but we can go and hang and do all
peaceful protest. Yeah.
But they're still not showing the what's going on. I mean, you could still catch it, and that's what they're finding. Some of the cases have gone up, and they don't know. They're not going to put the blame where it's at. When you have mass gatherings, it happens. And in today's world, you could potentially kill yourself by doing it the wrong way. If you're not healthy, you shouldn't be out there.
All right, we need to head into
Speaking of catching things, real quick. My episode is coming up this Thursday for
Holy
there you go.
Amanda's going.
That is a great way to end this segment. Amanda, holy moly, on ABC is going to air this Thursday. Set your DVR, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to miss this. I'm looking forward to it. That's all I got to say.
I'm hoping that door opens. Talk about Philly.
We got to take our break. When we come back, Rob West will be joining us to talk about Big Break Mexico. Yeah, we'll be right back. A golf ball that performs for you. The OnCore Avant 55, hot off the tee, a formulated core that delivers more energy and utilizes soft cell technology to achieve ultra-low 55 compression. This blend of innovation and simplicity provides more distance and greater feel. The caliber, maximum accuracy. A patent hollow metal core creates significant rifle spin while reducing side spin, allowing the ball to travel along a straighter trajectory. The OnCore Elixir Tour Ball, hot list winner. The premium cast urethane cover delivers a soft and pure feel off the club face and gives the Elixir ultimate greenside control, durability, and unmatched putting performance. Be sure to check out their combo packages and sign up for the loyalty program. Gift cards are also available. For more information, their website is www.oncoregolf.com. And be more with OnCore.
Golf Dots is a unique, high-resolution ink transfer to personalize your golf game. Golf balls, golf shoes, clubs, Golf Dots can personalize it for you. Golf Dots conforms to USGA rules and doesn't alter the trajectory of your golf ball. Tour proven on all major tours, Golf Dots is designed and made in America. Many styles to choose from that will fit every golfer's personality. New styles are being released on a regular basis. To order your Golf Dots, visit www.golfdots.com and enter promo code BIGJOHN15, that's Big John, BIGGJON 15 for a discount on your Golf Dots. Golf Dots is available in many golf shops, such as the PGA Tour Superstore. The website for Golf Dots is www.golfdots.com. That is golf.dots.com, or call 847-829-4238. Personalize your golf game today with Golf Dots.
That it is, you're gonna wind up in love or in a fight or in a car with blue lights. Sometimes all of the above. Yeah, ain't nothing good goes on after midnight. You know, I know that mama's always right. So meet me at 12 o'clock. I know a couple spots where trouble loves to hang. That girl's go shake that thing. Well, the honky-tonk is honking, and the music's loud and stomping. Well, the rowdy folks get right, the whiskey flows, the beer's as cold as ice. Yeah, nothing half-off whiskey sours. They're like hanging at a baby shower compared to where I'm gonna be. When a small hand hits the big hand on the clock up on the wall, man, I'll be flying out of here like Superman. So if you wanna hang with me, meet me at 12 o'clock. I know a couple spots where trouble loves to hang. The bad girls go shake that thing. Well, the honky-tonk is honking and the music's loud and stomping. Well, the rowdy folks get right, the whiskey flows, the business cold as ice. Yeah, nothing good goes on around here after midnight. Yeah, nothing good goes on after midnight. You know I know that mama's always right, so meet me at 12 o'clock. I know a couple spots where trouble loves to hang. Bad girls go shake that thing. Well, the honky-tonk is honking and the music's loud and stomping. Well, the rowdy folks get right, the whiskey flows, the business cold as ice. Yeah, nothing good goes on around here after midnight.
This is Big's Golf Talk with Big John Vick and Bill the Golf Father Quabis.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all your Amazon devices, as well as your favorite podcast platform. Just search for Big's Golf Talk. Big John Vick along with the Golf Father Bill Quabis back here with you as we kick off hour number 2, sponsored by Scorpion 21. Feel the sting with Scorpion 21. Makes for a great Father's Day gift at scorpion21.com. Whenever he wears that special polo, he will feel the sting and make his friends jealous. Billy, just before we got back here to start off hour number 2, you heard a Rob West song lead us into this segment here. And this past Monday, as a matter of fact, I know you got to see it. I got to see it all the way from episode 1 to the elimination challenge, if you will. Rob West on Big Break Mexico Macanudo, one of my favorite cigars out there as well. But I'll tell you what, man, the Rob West we know, and he's so mature and so wise and everything else. And
Hey, whoever said that about Rob? Come on, man. It's so untrue. Come on, man.
I'll tell you,
so not true.
Shayna and I was watching this, and he looks so young, and, you know.
What are you trying to say, that our boy looks so old?
No, he just,
pick on Rob?
he looks wise, if you will.
It's the gray and the beard.
But join us here on the phone line right now. We've had Rob West on the program before talking about his country music and how much he has loved country music, and kind of dabbled a little bit into his golf career. But this past Monday, they re-aired the episode Big Break Mexico Macanudo out there in on the Golf Channel, and Rob West was a part of that. And it was a kind of a different format that you're used to seeing on the Big Break. It was more of a team format. And we're going to talk to Rob about that and what his thought was when he went into that, because typically golf is an individual sport, and when you're put in a team format right there and you count on team members and all that. By the way, one of the team members, Billy, I know you noticed it, Mackenzie was on Rob's team. Yep. And Mackenzie is actually Amanda the Golf Diva Robertson's business partner with Backswing Golf Events.
Yep.
Rob,
history there.
Yeah, Rob West. You know, I was watching this, and I'll tell you what, I was really impressed by the humor that you provided us. And you know what? And some people probably thought you were a jerk, but I knew you better, and I knew how it was going. And my favorite line was, "There is 11 losers and 1 winner, and I want to be that winner." I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the mentality.
Well, I just want to say that you are always going to be the winner.
Yes.
Whether there's 12, 10, 9, you are always going to be my favorite winner. I'm just saying.
And now we're going to dip into it, because actually you had to sign a non-disclosure waiver where you couldn't talk about it for quite some time, and some years.
It was 5 years.
Yeah, some years.
That's a long time.
And we're gonna get into the elimination round and what went wrong and why it went the way it did. But when you first went into the Big Break Mexico and you were notified, hey, we're going to start this whole thing off as a team event, and you kind of touched on it a little bit. I don't know if that was shtick on the show or not, but you kind of said, hey, listen, I play for myself, and being stuck on a team, I have to rely on 3 other individuals. If they're not playing well, the team doesn't do well.
Yeah, it was kind of deflating when I showed up in New York City when they did the reveal of the cast. None of us knew that it was co-ed until we got there. Mm-hmm. So I walked in. They had to film me walking in a couple times because when I first walked in and saw girls sitting on the couch, I'm like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And they're like, "That's not the response they wanted." So they're like, "Hey, Rob, can we shoot that again?" I'm like,
Hey,
"Yeah, sorry about that. I just was expecting to play against a bunch of guys." So it turned out it was awesome, and I love those girls, but it was different. I wasn't prepared for that, and golf to me is an individual sport. That's why I love it. I played team sports growing up, baseball. I played everything. And golf is what grabbed me because it was me against me, me against my demons and me against the golf course. So to put me in an environment with somebody else where I'm relying on them to help me get to where it was hard for me. It was really hard. I'm a very individual guy. The music's the same way, it's a selfish thing, but that's just who I am.
Is it really selfish? I don't think it's selfish. I just think it's part of who we are. Some of us need that. Some of us grew up that way. Some of us might be an only child. Some of us might be, there's so many things. I think it's admirable. Sometimes we strive for that extra success or something traumatic might have happened to somebody that they feel they're alone. And I felt like that for a long time. I mean, I didn't share a lot of my stuff until I met Slim over here. And I decided to take on a different mode. I have trust issues. I have a lot of, things going on in my brain. And I'm not a people. People think I'm a people person, but it's not who we're wired to be. It's something that we have to learn and adjust to be.
Very true.
And I think it's okay to feel that way. You know what I mean? You can feel that way. You felt that way. And there's a lot of people that might be listening. It's okay to feel that way. It's good to be you and be a survivor.
You're right, bro. I spend a lot of time in my own head, and I think that's important.
You have to be. Because
especially for what I do now.
Oh, yeah. With the music that you come up with in addition to, to golf and stuff. And I was lucky. I got to do a couple of the back end stories, the how would you say, the reunions of the Big Break. And they were all the women ones.
Yeah.
And
well, here,
I'll give you guys.
I'm going to give you guys a little something that you don't know. So you remember Big Break NFL, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I was actually called to go do Big Break NFL. I was an alternate to Chad, who was on my season. They ended up going with Chad. And when they told me they were picking Chad, I said, that's a big mistake. And I was right, because I heard from behind the scenes that he was not the best guy to deal with. And I was grateful for every opportunity, happy to be there. And I was healed physically, so I was ready to go get some redemption. And I never got that opportunity, but who knows down the road? The fact that they're re-airing these shows right now kind of is...
Thinking of they're going to return, yeah.
I hope so, because...
You know what? It'd be nice. It would be really nice.
Great content for their channel. There's not a whole lot going on right now with golf. Why not bring it back?
Yeah. And the thing is, the other ideas that they went to try and explore, that extreme kind of thing that they did, where they had the teams and stuff like that. Actually, one of them, the sisters live very close by to me. And yeah, I think the original concept was the best concept. I think people would embrace that kind of stuff than what they were trying to do now. So I'm hoping I hope it is leading back to it, because I enjoy watching that more than a match from 1998 on TV that I already know the winner. I mean, I don't care. I'd rather watch Big Break. It was more exciting.
Well, and the thing with me was with the Macanudo Mexico series. So Macanudo was having a contest every week, giving away cigars.
Every week.
Every week. And it really made, and I liked that because it was making people engage, in real time. And
that's what we want.
And that's why I remember this particular show so well, because I think this particular one was the only interactive show where they did bring the listener and the viewer in to really interact in real time and talk about the shots, talk about the challenges and all that stuff. And I quite remember that how many people went to Twitter and called Rob West a dick.
I can't count how many.
Well, that's his middle name, Biggs. What do you expect?
I'm so
call
glad.
him Richard.
I'm glad you're touching on that, because I have so many.
Hey, nobody's touching anything here, Rob.
Dude, that's so funny. So listen, check this out. You guys remember? I don't know if you remember, but at the end of the first show, it cuts to me and I say, "I don't give a crap about anyone." Ever.
Yes.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said, I don't give a crap about anyone ever on the golf course. It's about me and the golf course and me and myself. And they trimmed and cut and edited it. And my mother, when she was watching it at the premiere party, she's like, "Oh my God, Robbie." I'm like, "I know, Mama, but that's not what I said. I promise you."
Fake news.
So,
isn't that amazing?
Yeah, they edit everything everybody needs a villain, but if you ask, like my other castmates were interviewed and they asked about me and what kind of a person I was, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's the most loving individual you ever want to meet," and they made him out to look like such a jerk, but he's really not that guy. And I'm like, I'm not.
And you kind of embraced that, though. That was a cool part.
Here's what I did. I knew I gave them enough material that they could have done 20 shows. Trust me. So I was me. I was me the whole time. But I knew that if I was getting that attention for all these things I was saying, I'm like, this can only work in my favor. I'm going to use that. And I don't really take offense to what people think of me.
Right.
Until you meet me in person, you sit down with me, and I get a chance to find out who you are, and we engage in a conversation. That's really what matters. But social media, those things can create whatever they want. Oh, my God,
yeah.
So you have to be careful about what you put out in the universe. I mean, it's an important thing. Your words are very powerful. So it didn't bother me more than it was just like, okay, I'm going to be this character for this show. I'm going to own this, but meet me in person. You'll find out who I am.
That's what Shay and I were sitting there, and that's exactly what we were saying. Like, okay, that's not the Rob West we know. We know the real Rob West. This is for camera purposes only. Let me ask you this, and many listeners want to know, Rob West. The Rob West back then had the highest leg kick ever in the history of golf. Can the Rob West today do that same leg kick?
Hands down, yes.
Without going into traction and needing the emergency room.
Yeah, you know what? Believe it or not, yeah, I'm still in that good a shape.
Yeah. Team-wise, you guys go to New York. You're seeing, this is going to be a co-ed thing. Did you guys know ahead of time before arriving in Mexico who your teams were?
We found out when we were in New York. That's when they told us each cigar had a band around it with a color, and the color code is what told us which team we were on. So that's when I found out, was in the reveal of the cast in New York is who my teammates were. So, and then we had to get to know each other, get to know our games. And then I think the practice round, the first day that we ever got to see the golf course, which is where everything went wrong for me, is where we kind of got to know each other on the golf course a little bit.
What went wrong for you?
So there's a reason why I didn't perform to the highest level that I'm capable of. 12 weeks before the show was filmed, I had an injury. I broke my hand, and I had a pin, surgery on my right hand, and a pin running through my pinky to put it back together. let's say this: somebody insulted my wife, touched her inappropriately, and I tried to punch him, and I missed and hit a wall, and broke my hand. So I get a call, and it's big break. They say, "Hey, we want to let you know you're on the show," and I was excited. Now here I am, driving down the road with the phone on speaker, and I've got a pin in my hand. And I asked them, "How long do I have?" No, you got 8 weeks. Well, I just had surgery. It's 8 weeks with a pin, let alone trying to play golf. So I go to my doctor 2 weeks before we had to go film the show, and I said, "Pull it out." And he's like, "It's still fractured." I said, "I don't care. I got to go do this." They pulled the pin out. I started hitting balls, chipping first lightly. Worked with my physical therapist, who was the greatest ever. He used to work with the Champions Tour. And got as close to healthy as I could to get strong enough to play. First day, we're at the golf course. I'm getting out of the golf cart, and Matt, my playing partner, is driving. He hits the gas on the golf cart, flips me up in the air. I land on the cart path on my tailbone and land on my hand, and I can feel it break. I knew right away that it was not good. And I couldn't say anything because I knew if I said I'm injured, they're going to send me home.
Right.
And this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Everybody knows, any athlete, no matter what sport it is, you play through injury.
Absolutely.
I realized how bad it was going to be. So I waited until after the first day of competition, and I went to our medic on staff, Mike, and I said, "Hey, look at my hand." He's all, "Oh my God." Because I told my teammates, I'm like, "Don't say anything. I'm staying here. I'll be fine." And it was gigantic, swollen. They put me in an ice sleeve, compression sleeve all night. He tried to work on my back so I could bend over. What you don't see in the driver challenge, where we have that speed challenge, when I teed up the golf ball, I couldn't even bend over. I had to stretch my legs out to even be able to bend over because my back hurt so bad. That's why I was coming out of the shots when the clubs got longer. It got harder and harder to make that swing. I couldn't even hold on to the golf club. So I knew at that moment that I was not going to be at the best that I could be physically. So I chose to make sure that they never forgot me. And I did that by the things I said.
Right.
I did that by becoming, taking a different lane and trying to support everybody else. I loved all those people, tried to coach them, cheer them on.
Yeah, you did.
And just become a character and become somebody that they didn't forget. I wanted them to see the real Rob West in my personality.
And I think they portrayed that in the elimination round when you sat down next to your teammate and you said, "Hey, this whole team thing dynamic is unique. It's hard, it's unique," and you really boosted his morale up. And they showed that.
He was so upset.
Yeah.
He was so upset, and I love Matt. And anytime somebody's hurting from anything, I'm the guy that wants to put my arms around him and hug him and talk to him and give him hope and show them that there's somebody that cares, and this too will pass. All you got to do is keep your head up and move forward. And that's what I was trying to do. And I did that with all the rest of the castmates. If somebody was hurting, I would talk to them. If they asked for guidance, here I am. I'm 20 years older than everybody on the show at the time. So I wanted everyone to be good and take the experience for what it was and not put so much pressure on themselves. And just have fun, have a good time.
So people want to know, Rob West, least favorite challenge and most favorite challenge.
The speed golf was my least favorite challenge. I spent my entire life trying to slow everything down and play golf with a rhythm and methodically. And for me to go running, I'm like,
I thought you were going to do a Happy Gilmore.
I'm like, dude, I can't do this. This is crazy. I'm trying to slow down. And then I think my favorite challenge was probably, I think the one where I hit the wedge inside 18 feet, not only because I was successful on that one, but because the conditions were such that the wind was swirling all over the place, and to even hit the green was hard. People don't see what we see, and it blows about 50 miles an hour there every day.
Right.
Wow. And to even be able to guess from 120 yards what the wind is doing, and a wedge spins a lot, so
Yeah.
to control the flight of the golf ball. That was my favorite challenge, was to overcome the elements and be successful.
All right, we got about 2 minutes here. Rob West is joining us, former contestant on Big Break Mexico, and he was eliminated, and along with 3 other teammates, which is unheard of. I mean, 3 people from the same team going home at the same time. One thing I did see in Rob West's face on that episode was his appreciation for being there, and now we know why, because the Rob West I know, very competitive, and if he got eliminated like that, he would have been pissed off at himself, and you'd have seen him walking away in a mood that nobody wants to even come near him. But you've seen the appreciation for the ability and the thankfulness that you were even there, especially under the conditions. Now we know that you were injured through the whole show. So we could understand that you had an appreciation. My question to you, though, and we kind of touched on this too, a redemption show. Would a Rob West consider going back on a Big Break redemption show if they considered it?
Yeah, in a heartbeat. I would love to go back, and as the guy that I am now, the golfer that I am now, because I'm actually better than I've ever been right now.
Right.
Obviously, because nothing else to do. I mean, COVID gave me one place to go, and that's the golf course. I'm grateful for that, but yeah, I would definitely do it in a heartbeat.
And next and lastly, 60 seconds. We have talked about it before, but I want to make sure we bring it up again. How's Arizona, the EP, doing? I know you're now getting some radio airtime besides what I have provided to you, but you're also locally in Arizona. You're getting some radio airtime, and I believe wasn't a station in Nashville giving you some airtime too?
Yeah, I can't get my head around all the stations. There's a lot of them that are playing. It's so hard to keep up with where it's hitting, but Arizona, 94.1 The Ride here in Arizona has been so good to me and so good to a lot of the local artists. And they started playing after midnight and Beautiful Downpour. Beautiful Downpour started trending after they started playing it. So I was so grateful. And I think coming up next weekend, this weekend, we're going to hear Drink 'em Quiet on another radio station in Arizona. So I'm excited and grateful. And it's doing well. We're pushing hard. We're going to be doing Country Thunder here this year in Arizona, so that's huge for us. So, yeah, everything's going the right way. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. That's what I always say.
Where can people connect with Rob West?
You can find me on Rob West Official on Instagram, Rob West Music on Facebook, Rob West Music on Twitter, and always reach out. Feel free to send me a message. I would love to hear from you, hear your stories, talk to you. I write music about what I experienced and the people that I know experience. So reach out to me always. I'm an open book and an open door always.
Well, we love you, Rob West. You're our brother from another, so
absolutely,
we're certainly blessed to have you in our lives. Thank you so much.
I love you, boys. Thank you.
More of Big's Golf Talk coming your way right after this.
Hey, this is Boxer Shorts, and I've got some big news. Big's Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. You can download their app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Big's Golf Talk. And make sure while you're there that you favorite us so that you'll know when we're on. Join all the other millions of listeners on iHeartRadio and listen to Big's Golf Talk. We're the best. Right.
Still using an old golf GPS watch? It's time to upgrade to ShotScope. ShotScope isn't just a golf watch, it's a fully automated golf performance tracking system on your wrist. ShotScope gives you access to over 100 tour-level statistics. Get putting analysis, short game breakdown, even find out how far you're booming your driver. All data is captured automatically by the groundbreaking ShotScope golf performance tracking system. ShotScope, the ultimate golf watch. Find out more at shotscope.com.
Stop swinging out of your shoes and get squared up with Squares shoes. Balance, stability, accuracy, distance, and comfort. It all starts with a patented Squares toe that allows the golfer to set up properly on every shot, with more room in the forefoot area that provides full range of motion in your feet. Squares integrated a heel stabilizer system that assists with rotational torque. A custom removable insole integrates compression zones that match the pressure point areas, linking the inner sole all the way to the cleats. One of the most vocal concerns from golfers has been tying their shoes multiple times throughout a round. Stay put laces with the silicone squares printed down the lace that allows you to comfortably conform the shoe to your foot and lock in place without having to adjust or retie during the round. So square up your shots with Squares shoes. It's hip to wear Squares. Their website is www.squares.com. That is SQAIRZ.com.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Golf talk for golfers on Big's Golf Talk. Back to Bill the Golf Father Cuevas and Big John Vick.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Amazon devices. Big John Vick along with you and Bill the Golf Father Cuevas back with you. And this segment is sponsored by Squares Shoes. It's hip to wear Squares, and visit squares.com for more information. That's SQAIRZ.com. Now, Billy, we failed to mention the winners last week on Big's Golf Talk, and this what a great segue this is.
I got to be weak. How come when it's bad stuff, it's weak? I don't want this week. That's you stuff. You forgot. I didn't forget anything.
But let's do it now. Let's announce the winners right now.
Let's announce them right off the bat.
OnCore Golf Balls and Hat is John Sweat. John Sweat, you have 7 days from when this podcast is posted to notify us and acknowledge you are the winner, and then we'll get your information to the vendor. The Ready Putt head cover, you get a choice. Mr. Caleb Baker, you also have 7 days from when the podcast is posted to notify us via email. That email is bigsgolftalk@gmail.com, bigsgolftalk@gmail.com. Perfect segue into something that is dear to our hearts, and we appreciate their partnership, but most of all, we appreciate their friendship, and we hope they're doing well in the pandemic. We've had him on the show before. He is one of the founders of OnCore Golf, the man, the myth, the king. Brett Blakely is joining us here on Big's Golf Talk.
You know what? One day we got to have him on just to talk about him.
Yeah,
because I follow what he does. I love what he does. The photography that you do is amazing. I saw that owl last night.
Oh my God, he does.
So
yeah,
you got to plug that at the end because we'll talk about OnCore, of course, because that's why you're here. But we got to get people to follow your pictures because those photos are amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's been a really fun hobby that I've just fallen head over heels in love with over the last 2 years, and it's just it's a great outlet, especially for, someone like me who loves all things creative. It's a great way to truly kind of, make a photograph into a work of art in your own vision.
Well, in my vision too.
Thank you.
You're doing a great job. You're making everybody envision.
And Brett, perfect. You know what? I will tell you that's coming from a guy that takes photographs with his cell phone and then enhances them and all that stuff. But the natural photo that you take, and the portraying of what that picture says is just amazing.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yep.
Let's talk OnCore Golf. Man, oh man, you guys got a lot going on. I mean, even though the pandemic is here, or was, and still going on somewhat, but you guys were busy during that time and launching a new podcast and in the works along with that. I mean, we talked about OnCore Buffalo. How's that coming along?
Yeah, so it's funny. Every time we're on the course locally, in our morning Zoom meeting yesterday, me and my buddy were relaying some stories about how, it's like clockwork. Every single course, no matter where we go, either the people in front of us, behind us, in the parking lot, they've got OnCore stuff or they're playing the ball so that's a lot of fun. And almost every single one of them says, "Hey, what's going on with OnCore Buffalo?" So everyone wants to know because, of course, we were supposed to be breaking ground at this time. It was supposed to be May, June latest that we were going to be breaking ground. We are still planning on moving forward. We still have the funding in place. Everything's, good to go from that standpoint. But we have to wait till things are, a little further along as far as the reopening. We have to make sure, that when it does reopen, what's that going to look like? Because, like patios, for instance, just opened back up in Buffalo, New York. And there's a lot of rules that go with that. If you want to enjoy a patio, there's still social distancing. Some places make you keep the mask on. You're required to order food along with it. And OnCore Buffalo is a facility that is in, similar in the way that Topgolf, they pack people in. You're talking about, people waiting hours sometimes to get to a hitting bay, talking about communal areas where there's a lot of people in close proximity. So, fingers are crossed that hopefully a vaccine comes sooner than later, because I think once that happens, it'll look pretty much like it did before. I mean, the last global pandemic was, 100 years ago. I don't think this is something that people need to be expecting is going to happen every single year. And hopefully we learn a lot from this and, creates a pathway for us to, see through it a lot quicker as well. But we're just going to have to see what it looks like. I mean, if they're saying that they're never going to have something like that again, where you can have all those people in at one time, then we'd have to reevaluate. But, it's not to scare anybody that's listening in Buffalo. Like I said, right now, the project is still 100% planning to be on. It's just delayed. We got to, kind of take our cues from, from what's happening in the country. And our expectation is that we should be able to break ground in fall now. But it looks like the summer is going to be a wash for that. It's just not far enough along. And, that's most important.
It makes sense.
And
every other way.
And you know what, Brett? Here's the thing about that, too, is, that's happening everywhere, though. Everybody has new projects coming up and building and all that stuff. All that's been put on hold. So OnCore's not the only individual in that boat, and that's certainly understandable on many fronts. So, but what is exciting, and you guys are releasing this summer, is a new golf ball. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So this has been pretty much in the making since shortly after we developed the Elixir. I mean, we're always looking to improve and be bigger and better. And, with the Elixir winning gold again, 2 years in a row, it's got a lot to live up to. So we didn't want to rush it. We're as eager as anybody to get the next best ball that we can create out there. The other motivation is to really create a full suite. We feel like the Avant is so good for its price point and, its design. The Elixir is arguably the best, but if not the best, right up there with the best golf balls on the market for tour balls. And what's nice about the Elixir is obviously it's a tour ball that even lower handicap players can perform really well with. The VERO X1 is what we're going to be launching in just a few weeks or so. And it is fast beyond belief. It's incorporated some of the same design elements as the Elixir as far as, we use those high density particles to create perimeter weighting in it, also to help create that velocity. Some of the differences is we actually have a nano layer. So it's not even visible to the eye, but it's a nano layer that goes under the mantle. And then that urethane, one of the things that's great about the Elixir is the feel and the durability. The difference in this is going to be the durability will be there, but we've actually made some changes to the cover, which is allowing it to grip, within those wedges and striations even more than ever before. So we're seeing a lot better spin rates around the green. For distance, it has been demonstrably improved. I mean, the Elixir is a long ball. This thing is gone. I mean, it's really pretty alarming, almost scary how significant of a distance increase. We're seeing 5 to 7 yards almost over every ball we tested against. So once again, we're going to be right on that threshold of making sure it's conforming without going over. But I mean, our engineer, I've told people this story. He is a brilliant guy, super nice guy. He's down in South Carolina. He helped build the Pro V1. He's worked for Callaway, head of R&D, TaylorMade. I mean, he's done everything. And he does not get giddy. He's very analytical. He tells you the numbers. He won't shut up about it. I mean, we
met him. We actually met him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right.
When you get that ball in Big's hands, he ain't going to shut up either, because now he's going to get his drive to at least 150.
Yep, exactly.
That is huge. That is absolutely huge. I mean, he'll get there.
He's joking because with the Avant 55 and the Elixir, I'm hitting it well over 220 yards with a swing speed of 90 miles per hour. So,
right.
And sometimes it's like 85 miles an hour. So, I mean, I do have a slow swing speed, where Billy's up there in the 95, 96 and all that stuff. So
I hit it a little bit farther. Just a little bit.
Now, last time you were on, Billy asked you that question about names, how you come up with the name. So tell us where VERO comes from.
We do a lot of just throwing stuff at a whiteboard, and seeing what sticks. I mean, there's a lot of that. Oftentimes we'll crowdsource. We'll do market studies and, maybe put in our top 10 or put in ones that we get from our audience. We went through a lot of names. What's funny is a lot of times you'll come up with a name and you're like, there's no way that's being used. And yeah, maybe it's not used for a golf ball, but it might be used for something that came out 20 years ago, but they still have the rights to it. And it was for a golf club, and therefore you can't use it. There can't be any room for confusion. Luckily, in this case, VERO was at the top of our list almost every time we did our brainstorming session. It always landed in our top 3 choices. And VERO means truth. This is kind of, something that we feel like we've tried to do with our innovation is always be not marketing to people, but telling them the truth about what our golf ball does. And the performance is true. The feel is true. Everything about this ball is exactly what I believe Calabria had in mind when designing, this golf ball. And it's going to be our even higher performing golf ball. Now, this will probably be a little bit more for a better player and higher swing speeds. It's going to be a little bit higher compression. It'll be interesting to see the feedback we get from average golfers that really enjoy the Elixir, to see if they're able to work with that in the same way. But it'll also be something that, the guys that just really need something that's really built for their skill set, or for, women as well, for those really good scratch golfers and everything. I think that's where it's going to shine. So it'll not only help round out the audience for, the golf balls that we have, but we'll have 3 different price points. So, we're going to have our Avant at the low end. Our Elixir we're going to drop it down just a tad to make it even, more affordable, but right there in the middle. And then the VERO will be right up at the top, probably about $39. So we're excited. And we've done a lot of testing, not only with, mini tour players and, obviously people like Gary Player, everyone and anyone. Justice Specs got a sleeve.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Yeah, we got to give Justice a shout out.
Yep.
We're
having this interview, and he must know, because he's blowing up my phone. He just sent me stuff. Justice is everywhere, and you see that?
And I got to tell you, I like the packaging. Everywhere. Justice had put a preview up on Instagram and IG, and I love the packaging to that. It looks great, and you guys did a phenomenal job on the packaging for that.
And I know we don't have a lot of time and stuff, because we got more stuff to talk about, but I just want people to know that OnCore has a Father's Day sale on those Avants that he was talking about, 4 dozen for $59. That's $40 in savings.
Yep.
That's
and
crazy.
We're doing 4 dozen of the Elixir for $99. So
I saw that. I was going to mention that next.
Yeah.
That's insane. Go get those quality balls. Those are really good balls at a super crazy low price.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now's a better time than ever to, be connecting with your family. For me, it's sad. Like, we've had my parents over in the backyard and stuff for dinner and things like that. But I haven't hugged my parents in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just because although, you know, it's not like I'm not freaking out about it or anything, but the fact is there is a risk. And I just don't want to be the person that somehow puts them at further risk. You know, I need both of them in my life, you know, tremendously. And obviously, you know, my father very well.
Yes.
He is, you know, he's the legend of OnCore. So we need him healthy and COVID-free, you know, doing what he does best. So
absolutely. Hey, Brett, how can people find out more information? And when is the release date for the new golf ball?
The release date is not 100% set in stone, only because obviously you can imagine things with shipping and all that kind of stuff. So, but we do expect within a few weeks we should have an actual launch date announced very soon. But it's going to be sooner than later. Obviously, people can go to OnCoreGolf.com for more information. They can always email me personally if they like. You know, that's guaranteed to make sure you don't get lost in the shuffle.
Very, very
And
active on
that's just
social
Brett.
media. You guys have trivia contests all the time for free golf, you know, free dozens of golf balls and stuff like that. So your people are always active on social media and doing interactive stuff with the followers. So be sure to follow these guys on OnCore Golf on social media as well. And you can maybe win yourself some free golf balls. And we appreciate your partnership and your support here on Biggs Golf Talk. Thanks so much, Brett.
Absolutely. My pleasure. You guys are the best.
Well, I know we wanted to talk a little bit about the podcast and all that stuff. Unfortunately, we're all out of time, so we have to have you back on, talk about your photography and podcasting and now, you know, venturing into that and all that stuff. But we all, you know, we appreciate you coming on and talking about the VERO. So thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks, guys. All right. Have a good day.
More Biggs Golf Talk coming your way. And coming up next is Biggs Product of the Week. We'll be right back right after this.
Have you ever seen a tour pro line up a putt with a dirty ball? No way. A clean ball rolls accurately, and accurate putts mean lower scores. The solution? Ready Putt. It's the putter cover reinvented. Ready Putt has a patented ball cleaner that's made to absorb and retain water. All you need to do is add water, and it remains wet throughout your round, giving your ball the perfect shine. It also has a magnetic surface to hold your ball marker and divot repair tool. Let's say you switch putters from round to round using a blade, mid-mallet, or large mallet. Ready Putt Original has you covered. Look, putting is hard enough. Accurate putts start with a clean ball, and a clean ball starts with Ready Putt.
For more information about Ready Putt, visit ReadyPutt.com. That is ReadyPutt.com. Clean it and sink it. The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best two-player teams to compete against an international field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup-style event, known prestigiously as the International Kings Cup. The International Kings Cup is played in remembrance of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer, whose honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence represent the ideals for which the game of golf is known. The road to the Kings Cup begins with a national qualifier. Two-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. For more information, to sign up, and to find a national qualifier near you, their website is usgolfchallenge.com. That is usgolfchallenge.com.
This is Biggs Product of the Week. Each week, Big John and the Golf Father select a golf product to feature. Here is Big John Vick and Bill, the Golf Father Cuevas, with this week's Product of the Week.
Welcome back to Biggs Golf Talk right here on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify. And don't forget about all your Amazon devices. Big John Vick, along with the Golf Father, Bill Cuevas. And this is Biggs Product of the Week. Biggs Product of the Week is sponsored by the U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Handmade Vodka. You must be 21 years of age to enjoy a great Tito's handmade vodka beverage, if you will. Maybe if I had one or two right now. Friends don't let friends drive drunk, and this week being National Best Friends Day, I think it was on Monday, and I put something on social media with saying thank you to Billy. Well, Billy's going to make sure I don't drive drunk. So there you go. That's how you can enjoy a great Tito's beverage. To find out more information about the U.S. Golf Challenge and national qualifiers that may be in your area, if not postponed or canceled, you visit usgolfchallenge.com for information about that. As of right now, Bill the Golffather Cuevas and myself will be live in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin at the Tito's 36-hole challenge, and we might be doing 2 shows. I mean, last year we did 1 show, and then they requested us to do another show the next day. That might happen again, and we will be live in person, so if you need autographs, or we might have some BGT swag to give away, and we'll be standing side by side with Tito's Handmade Vodka for the national 36-hole challenge that's going to be taking place in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. That is happening in August. Then in September, we are going to be in Myrtle Beach for the national championship with the U.S. Golf Challenge. And again, doing a live show from there and emceeing the event. We're going to be there live in person and meet and greeting and everybody and determining who will be Team USA going to Glasson Club in Ireland in 2021, along with Biggs Golf Talk, as we will be heading out that way. Hopefully, if COVID, gets down and we don't get a second wave of it, then we will see you in Ireland, hopefully. So, all right, Biggs product of the week. Billy, we are very familiar with this next company that is our product of the week, and let me tell you a little bit about them and their commitment. Indi Golf is committed to making sure that every product they design is the best it can possibly be. They do not adhere to the industry's high-pressure development cycles. No. Instead, they work through continuous iterative design and testing to refine their product until it has reached perfection. They do not blindly follow industry's traditions for designs or materials. All you have to do is visit for more information, indigolfclubs.com. But we do have the CEO and founder, and Billy, you've had the opportunity to try out their putter, the new putter they have out, and we love their wedges. I have a 3-set wedge and I'll tell you what, it's my butter. It is my bread and butter in my bag with these wedges. I have a 52, I have a 56, and I have a 60. And to get me out of the sand, I'll tell you what, my 52 wedge, I have been hitting that thing 110 yards. 110 yards on my 52.
You hit it longer than your driver.
But you want to talk about putters? Oh, Ramon can knock down your scores. Or how about the sexy Allison? Allison could be the finesse to get you in the hole with 1 putts. Well, Indi Golf has really come, and guess what? We will be giving away your choice of a Ramon or an Allison right here on Biggs Golf Talk for the month of June. And Billy, in your holiday gift guide at golfball.com that people can read, Indi Golf is on the Father's Day gift guide.
Yes, it is. They're one of my top picks, as we discussed before. Whether you want, if you're playing, score with your friends and stuff like that, they got the wedge for you. If you're playing tournament golf, where you're going out and you have to maintain within the legal limits of everything, they have their sweet spot clubs too, which I tested both. I was lucky when we were in Orlando. I tested the ones with the high spin. I was just shy of 1,100 for the ones that are non-conforming, and then the ones that were conforming, I only dropped like maybe 4,000 RPMs on it, which was still a lot more than my normal wedges. So I can still spin back the regular Indi wedges. The putters are phenomenal. They got a nice sweet spot no matter where you hit on that face. So, yeah, of course they're going to make it. I think they're the only club manufacturer I have on my list.
And I'll tell you what, Rob Lang is joining us here on the line. And Rob Lang, I have seen many good things from especially people having more fun with the non-conforming wedges. I mean, why not go with the non-conforming wedges if you're never going to play in a tournament? It makes it more fun. People can actually look forward to, sometimes just lay up to hit that wedge to see it spin and see it check up and things like that. But the grooves that you have put on, and something that Indi Golf does that I haven't seen any other wedge do, is so much with getting the groove from toe to heel And, a lot of wedges they cut off part of the toe, but you actually have your grooves pretty much from toe to heel, which essentially, if you mishit it, you should still have a good shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. Golf is a hard game, and, you're going out there to try and have some fun and relax. I know that's easier said than done. We know, and I've said this before on your guys' show, there's really three things in golf that make a player happy. It's, hitting a long drive down the middle, making a good putt for a little bit dough maybe, or just for, a personal or a good score on a hole, and then spinning a wedge, a lot of times people will get frustrated with the game more so around the green because, they'll have a basic pitch shot or something and it'll land on the green and it's got no spin and it rolls all the way across the green and they're hitting that shot again and they can be frustrating. So, and we know that most players, even the guys on tour, if they miss a wedge, it's typically out towards the toe and a little bit high on the face. And so what we've done is we've made that a location on our wedges that will still perform. And then, that way, if you don't make a perfect swing every time, you're still going to get very good results. And you're closer to the hole, you make more putts, you lower your score, you start having a lot more fun.
So your first version was the Stingray and Stingray TT. The conform, part of your wedges is the TT. And then you came out with version 2 with the ATK TT and the ATK SR. Is there a difference between the two, or one is just an improvement off of the other one?
No, they're basically what they are is they're different sole grinds. So, when we launched the Stingray series, we came out with what we call our Flex design. And so being a small company, we can't do like some of these other companies and have, 8 or 9 different grinds. It's just don't have the ability to do that. So we looked at, hey, okay, if I was to make, a set, how would I migrate the sole configuration through the set all the way from 48 degrees down to 60 degrees so they perform really well for a lot of different people. So we did that. And then we launched what we call our ATK or our attack grind. And that's the ones you see there. And that's a different sole. That's for somebody who maybe takes a bigger divot, has a little steeper angle of attack, or plays in softer conditions. That sole's a little bit wider. It does have some back edge and heel relief, but it's designed, so it's designed for somebody who maybe takes bigger divots. So now we have the 2 sole configurations, and we feel like we can fit pretty much everybody out there in any condition, so that they can hit the best wedge shots that they possibly can.
On the ATK TT, you have 2 different finishes. You have the satin finish, but you also have the black finish. One of the questions I get asked all the time regarding finishes, does that take away from the performance of the wedge?
There is some precedence out there for the darker wedges to spin not quite as much. When we test our non-conforming stuff, we don't see any degradation there. So I think it's just those grooves are so big that they do grab the ball and the ball still spins no matter what. We may see, depending on the player, we might see, and it's not a lot. It might be a maximum of about 500 RPMs difference in spin when you go from, say, a raw, a chrome to a black type finish. And, like I said, we're not the only ones that see that. You'll see that with the big guys. So that's the only, to me, I'd say that's the only thing you're giving up, just a bit of spin when you go to the darker finishes.
Let's talk about the putters. We have talked about the putters. We talked about the putters at the PGA show, but you're in full force and full production of both the Ramon and the Allison, and available on your website. Let's talk about the Ramon that's available in the matte black and also in the satin chrome, but that's more of a blade putter, isn't it?
Yeah, we're really excited about these putters. We're seeing some great results. We have actually, there's a gentleman at our club that we were kind of laughing about the other day because he's known as one of the worst putters out there, and he got a Ramon in his hands, and now everyone's like, he might be the best putter at the club. So it's made a big difference for him. It's super exciting. His biggest issue was his distance control. So, and you know,
The
and we
feel,
know that that's
yeah.
a big thing. If you're knocking it 5 feet short and 5 feet by all the time, you know, you're going to 3-putt a lot. And so with the Ramon is a like you said, it's a blade style. It's got some toe hang, so it's for that player that likes to, what I call swing the door, you know, kind of an open to close on an arc. But both of the putters have what we call a colossal sweet spot. And what we've done is the body's made out of aluminum. Then we have toe and heel weighting that's tungsten. And we took some time figuring out what's the ultimate face thickness and things. So no matter where you hit it on the putter face, the ball's going to roll almost the exact same distance. Whereas other putters, if you hit it in the heel, it typically goes a little further. If you hit it on the toe, you tend to lose a lot of distance. So just something we're trying to do, you know, to make it a little bit easier for everybody.
And also the Allison is available in the matte black and the satin chrome as well. And I'm a big fan of the matte black. I mean, it just looks good. I like with the blue lettering, and it's just so detailed, and I just love it. Now, one thing about your wedges, it's customizable, right? I mean, you could insert, you know, shafts if it's available to you, and you know.
Absolutely, we'll do everything and anything, and we try not to charge any more for them. So if someone out there has a special shaft or a grip, probably 9 times out of 10, we're going to be able to build that without an upcharge, whereas a lot of other companies will upcharge for that. And if it is a significant difference, then, you know, we let the customer know and we work that out for them. But we try to do, you know, the best we can, because we want them to have something they can use. One other thing I wanted to point out with the Allison is we do have that in 2 different hosel configurations.
Yes.
So we have a double bend putter, which is a face balance putter, and that's great for somebody who has more of a straight back, straight through stroke. And then we did add a slant neck putter that has a little bit of toe hang, again, good for an arc player. And you'll be happy to hear this, John, but the left-handed Allisons, they're on their way.
Really?
Look at him now. He's like, oh, look at his face. Now he's smiling. Now he's all happy. Like,
you know what? And tell you the truth, I wasn't even going to ask. Ask Billy. Ask Billy, because during the commercial break, I was like, I'm not going to touch the subject of the left-handers. I'm not.
Now I know which finish you like, so we'll get you.
And that's what he was talking about. He's like, hey, Billy, we got to make sure when we do the contest, it's no left-handers, no lefties. That's what he kept talking about. No lefties, no lefties.
Yeah. So just to be clear, the left-handers will only be in Allison to start with. So, so if we do have a left-handed winner, we'll get them set up, but it'll be with an
Allison. We could put that.
We'll be able. We'll put that in the description.
That opens up a different world.
Yeah.
I'm sure at that point they don't care. You know what I mean? Because they're like, look at her. And I got a stupid question because you brought it up with the wedges. With the putters, have you found that the coating, whether if it's the darker tone, the black, as opposed to the chrome, have you noticed any number difference?
No, they roll exactly the same.
Okay.
You know, it's not you're not getting the, you know, there's not a descending blow and things, so the ball doesn't really have the opportunity to slide on the face like it does with a wedge. You know, the putter's more of a straight impact, and also, you know, you've seen this, we have a pretty aggressive milling pattern on the face, which really helps with the roll also, and so it doesn't allow the ball to do anything different from one finish to the other.
Okay.
All right, so really quick, we got less than 4 minutes here left on Big's Golf Talk, but you are having a special Father's Day special. Billy, as a matter of fact, like I said, you have selected Indi Golf as one of your products for Father's Day gift ideas at golfball.com. Yep. And I happen to agree with it. You know, and Bill and I do have a few things that's on the same as both as BGT, but different, you know, outlooks and different feedback on things. So go take a look at BGT's Father's Day gift guide. But certainly I highly recommend Indi Golf as a Father's Day gift idea, especially when I just found out what the Father's Day special is. Rob, would you like to tell the listeners what the Father's Day special is?
Yeah, so we're going to have 2 different packages for Father's Day. You know, the first one will be buy a putter for a discount and get a wedge for free. So kind of a 2-for-1 deal there. So that's you know, we call that our pitch and putt deal for the and then we're also offering a deal where you that's a combination of 3 wedges and a putter. Those are launching today. I think we're just kind of finalizing a couple of the details. Yeah, I actually see them on here now. That's great. So you can get your father set up out there to put a good short game in their hands. They'll start making putts and stuff, and that'll probably be one of the best Father's Day gifts anybody can get.
Now, are you doing it, because we've asked the other companies as well, for the people that are trying to surprise their dads? So are you offering something where they can get this package but not fill out what they need, because maybe they don't know what their dad specs are, or maybe they don't want to ruin that surprise? Do you have anything set up where they can reach out to you guys and say, hey, I want to buy this, I'm willing to pay this, but I don't want to pick the clubs yet?
Absolutely, yes. They can call us. We put our number right on the homepage, so you can text or call us, and we can talk about it. If you don't know what to get your father and you want some advice, we can do that. Or if, like you just said, Billy, if you want to say, hey, I want to do this, but I want to let them choose, they can absolutely do that too. We do have gift certificates that you can call in and purchase. Also, we're going to try and get those online here within the next couple of days. But if that's not up, you don't see it, just give us a call. I'll be picking up the phone, so we can work through that.
There you go.
So they get to talk to you too? Oh my goodness!
Wow,
how much better is that?
Yeah, no kidding. So any
Mr.
questions
Bob.
you have, there you go. You get to talk to the man himself. Hey, listen, visit IndiGolfClubs.com. That's the website. Indi, INDI, golfclubs.com is the website. Rob Lang, thank you again for joining us here on Big's Golf Talk, and I'm looking forward to putting Allison in my bag.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to be on with you. I know it's National Friends Day, so I consider you two guys good friends, and I always appreciate spending time with you.
We appreciate you too, Rob. Thank you for everything you do for us. We appreciate it.
Phrase of the week. Friends. I love my new toy. It's got a nice little echo to it and everything else. So, Rob, thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Indie golf is about the player. What feels good, looks good, and performs good. They have no bounds. They dream big and are passionate about improving the game. They respect the sport of golf and have a big desire to grow the game by bringing its enjoyment to all walks of life. Every individual golfer connects with their favorite sport in their own way. It is their goal to give golfers top-tier, quality products that help them to not only perform at their best, but enjoy at their best. Indie Golf, IndiGolfClubs.com. For Bill the Golf Father Cuevas, for Amanda the Golf Diva Robertson on Big Our website, enter the contest to win your very own putter from Indie Golf at BiggsGolfTalk.net, BIGGS golftalk.net or .com. Thanks for listening, everybody. Until next week,
you matter.
Take care, everybody.